Situated at the border of India and Nepal, world's third highest mountain with the staggering height of 8,586 meters is none other than sky-scraping Kangchenjunga. This Himalayan giant is so grand that no eyes can capture it at a glance, and so deadly that no eyes can stare it for long either. Rock climbing above 8,000 meters, danger of rockfall en route Camp 2, the continuous threat of avalanche near Camp 3, climbing through overhanging glaciers, and along with these challenges were the difficulties like freezing temperatures below -40, lack of oxygen, howling winds and extremely unpredictable weather. Team Giripremi was all set to face all these odds and was on the quest of one of the ambitious dream, Mount Kangchenjunga Eco Expedition 2019. 17th April 2019, team reached the base camp situated at 18,000 feet. Base camp was so remote that the team had to trek for 11 days to reach here. Last day's trek was the most treacherous, with a walk of 10 continuous hours through the glacier. After the puja and propitiation ceremony, the actual climbing began. The first difficulty was to climb through the hanging glacier. Everyone, including Sherpas, were terrified while crossing this huge trench of ice. The ladder which team crossed during the first rotation collapsed after some days, so they had to find a new route to come down. After crossing this patch, team reached Camp 1. This year, none of the climbers preferred to stay at Camp 1 as the distance to Camp 2 was not too much, nor it was too much of altitude gain. So, the team continued to Camp 2. But the main challenge en route Camp 2 was to cross the rockfall area. For several years, this rockfall has been the reason for abandoning many climbs on Kangchenjunga. To avoid falling rocks of various sizes from tiny pebbles to huge boulders was not the easy job. Climbers had to literally run through this patch to tackle the falling rocks, and it was a tough task to run with crampons on. Fortunately, all were fit to endure this challenge. Yet, at the back of the mind, they knew that they had to come back from the same route.
Welcome to Kangchenjunga Camp 2, 6,200 meter journey so far has been pretty harsh. We started early around 6:30 in the morning, reached to Camp 1 around 12:30, and now we are here. एक्सपेडिशनच्या काळात निघालं की दुसरं एक्सपेडिशन.
The climb from Camp 2 to Camp 3 was also strenuous. Team had to gain 800-meter altitude at a stretch. The climbing was under scorching sunlight and gleaming ice and snow all around. In Himalayas, sunny day is certainly a bliss, but not at such times, because here temperature rises as high as +40 degrees. And then the life-saving clothing seems like a curse. After a long walk of 5 hours, team reached Camp 3. After successfully completing rotations to Camp 1, 2 and 3, now the team was ready for the final summit push. Everyone was looking forward for a good weather window, and for that, team had to wait for 10 days. During this waiting period, sitting idle means an invitation to high altitude diseases. So team members practiced ice climbing, as well as tried their hands on high altitude bouldering. Also, throughout the trek route, team had collected samples of rock, soil and glacial waters. They continued the same during the base camp stay as well. These samples collected as a part of eco project of Kangchenjunga expedition shall be very useful for researchers and scientists and may lead to some significant findings in future. The wait was over when most of the weather reports received at base camp concluded that 13th and 14th May would be the good days. Still, the window being only of 2 days, everyone was in dual mind whether to take it or wait for further window. But Mama decided to go ahead with this window, and team left base camp on 11th May. As soon as the team reached Camp 2, the weather turned bad. Snowfall with heavy lightning and thunderstorms started once again. Team was disappointed, thinking of consequences. Fortunately, Ganesh More and Avinash Kandekar from Pune gave assurance that team would get another good day on 15th May. After a night's halt at Camp 3, team reached Camp 4 on 14th May. They have been preparing hard physically and mentally for this very day. The summit climb for this peak had stretched for 24 to 27 hours in some of the past expeditions. So, everyone in the team was a little anxious about the final climb. Thoughts like, how much time will it take for us? How difficult the last climb would be, crossed everyone's mind. But by the time they could think much, it was time to leave. Between 5 to 6 p.m., everyone was on the way to final summit attempt. Base camp and Pune office was going to be under tremendous pressure for next 24 hours. Peculiarity of this peak is that the summit climb can be seen from the base camp as well. So, Mama could actually trace the movements of our head torches. But it was not meant to go so smooth. The weather turned bad in the evening. It was white out all around. Camp 4, which could be seen a moment ago, was now not visible. So base camp was out of question. Luckily, this phase was not too long. Weather changed and the moon could be seen. Entire canvas of snow was full of moonlight. Team kept progressing inch by inch throughout the night. Still they were nowhere close to a place called Moral, from where the summit was just 2 hours. And finally, when they reached Oh morale! It was 3 a.m. Now the climb was harder, steeper and scarier. This was the most difficult climb in everyone's mountaineering career. The treacherous rock climbing in the death zone with crampons was full of risk and uncertainty. Had someone slipped from the rock or lost the grip on rope, several thousands feet free fall and the death was guaranteed. 15th May 2019, 5:30 a.m. The team could feel the first rays of the rising sun on their faces, as if they were waiting for team to reach here. Few more steps, and what team saw was probably the best sight in their life. Picturesque summit of Mount Kangchenjunga and the rising sun. Anand Mari, Vivek Shivde, Ashish Mane, Rupesh Khopde and their Sherpas were standing on the top of third highest mountain of the world. Soon after, Dr. Sumit Manle, Kiran Salastekar, Prasad Joshi, Bhushan Harshe, Jitendra Gaware and Krishna Dhokre also reached the summit. Several records were established during this expedition. The first and the foremost was 10 climbers of single team climbed Kangchenjunga on one single day. Also, 4 siblings climbing Kangchenjunga together was a Guinness Book World Record. Giripremi's Sherpa Sardar Pasang Sherpa became the only person in the world to scale Mountain Kangchenjunga 6 times. And the biggest achievement in the history of Indian mountaineering was that Umesh Zirpe became the only person in the country to lead 7 successful expeditions to 7 8,000 meters mountains. But beyond all this record-breaking success, the thing that meant a lot for Giripremi was all the members reached base camp safe and sound, and that was the real success of the expedition. After successful expeditions to Mount Everest, Mount Lhotse, Mount Makalu, Mount Cho-Oyu, Mount Dhaulagiri and Mount Manaslu, Mount Kangchenjunga added another golden leaf in the history of mountaineering in India.